Since we're all family and great friends to Poonam, which means under this umbrella, we're all family. So please give a hug of love, a jadoo ki jhappi to a person standing next to you. Come on, everybody. But don't hug anyone else's wife too much. We don't want controversies, okay? Gulshan sir, that was a very long hug to Kriti Sanon. Stop that. Thank you so much. Please take your seats, everyone. And Ajay, a hug to you as well, man. Thank you, thank you. So that's the spirit of tonight. Friends, family, everyone bonding together. Oh, hugs are still on. I like this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to embark on a beautiful journey with some very close friends of Poonam who will be reading out a few poems that resonate with them. To begin this journey, I have a lady who Poonam first met and they connected instantly. She knew this lady's brother Advait, having been Advait's friend since college days. And as our special lady browsed through the collection, the poem My World caught her attention. While in reality, a mother to two youngsters, her recent award-winning performance as Baji Rao's mother in the wonderful film Baji Rao Mastani shows how she easily can adapt to real and real worlds. An alternate reality indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, someone we love from the bottom of our heart, Tanvi Azmi ma'am, can we have you on stage please?
Good evening, everybody. I'm really delighted to be here, and I'm really happy for you, Poonam. This has come as a complete surprise to me. I had no idea you had this fantastic talent hidden inside you, and I'm so glad you've decided to bring it all out for all of us. The poem I'm going to read today for y'all is called My World. For a long time now, I've lived in a daze of an alternate reality that's a perpetual haze. My existence within it continues to amaze me, and try as I might, I just can't part ways. I view the world from within, yet afar. I am its full moon and even its rising star, living in my personal universe with a door slightly ajar, tracking life as it passes with my own radar. I believe in myself, and selfish as it may seem, I delight in my uniqueness, my own special theme. Some might believe that this is but a dream, but me, myself, and I, we make a great team. My own world exists in my time and space, a deliberate attempt to opt out of the race. But the real world imposes at every pace with threats of failure and even disgrace. But blessed am I to live two lives in one, going one to the other, at times just for fun, yet challenging myself for a perfect union of success and happiness before each day is done. Bold words indeed, one might say, but we each seek a path, and this is my way of embracing the challenges of each new day, for the world only sees what you portray. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So beautifully rendered and very introspective, I must say. Now I'd like to call on stage the lovely Aditi Rao Hydari, who will be reading Past, Present, and Future. From the section Ache and Acceptance, Poonam questions the reality of time, past, present, and future. She met Aditi at the IFA Awards a couple of years ago, and they instantly connected. That meeting from the past resulted in a friendship continuing into the present with a promise of sharing many happy occasions in the future too. Aditi has dedicated herself passionately to her films, and her recent release, Wazir, features this beauty in a lead role. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Aditi Rao Hydari.
I'm really happy to be here today, and I'd like to congratulate Poonam ma'am and Sabaso. I love them very much, past, present, and future, and I always, always, always will. So here goes, past, present, and future. Is there really a past, present, and future? What is this concept of time that we continue to nurture? Are we not reborn anew each day? A person different from what we were yesterday? If no day is the same based on circumstances around, how can we then determine where we're actually bound? And why does that thought of death scare us so, when we know that we all have to ultimately go? And isn't each day a death of the old you, a reality that's understood by barely a few? But if we don't live in finite time and space, what is the point of running life's race? So we create concepts of ambitions and goals as we take on responsibilities and additional roles. We convince ourselves that there's a reason for our feelings beyond the obvious and our apparent dealings, a justification of our very existence, a reason to continue with our daily persistence. Our need for others and theirs for us, relationships, families, and all that fuss. But is there really a purpose to this, and to what end? When we can't even determine what's around the bend, yet within each is this infinite potential, coupled with the desire for ongoing attention. So though we are a new person, which with each new day, there will always be a price that we'll have to pay. For all our experiences come from the past, with no surety of the future or how long it'll last. Thank you.
Thanks, Aditi. What a lovely interpretation of the concept of time. Next we have the lovely Manasi Scott, who will be reading Being Bold from the section Benevolence and Belief. Poonam loves the bold persona that Mansi has acquired over the years, having been a witness to Mansi's journey from her initial days to the much in-demand singing and performing star of today. Truly a woman of substance. Let's welcome Manasi Scott with a huge round of applause.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Manasi Scott. I was going to actually do this very, elocution style and read out the name of the poem and then Poonam's name, but everybody knows you've written all the poems, so congratulations. Your family, and you know that. My first show ever professionally after software engineering was with Wizcraft. So you boys and you ladies all know how much I love you, so it's an honor to be here today sharing this moment with you. I know she wanted me to sing this, but this is too daunting a task because it is a beautiful poem and it resonates very deeply within me. But maybe with the throat I have, I'll start off the first two lines just for you like that. Being bold. I've decided to be fearless. I've read the writing on the wall. I'm going to delve down deep within myself with my passions to recall. How easy it has been to let myself slide and behind the cloak of excuses continue to hide. I need to be inspired to bring forth my best. So who will mentor me? Whom can I request? For if each drop, as they say, does an ocean make, I must trudge regardless, not let my resolve shake. The world out there leans on who inspire. So my search is seriously on for someone I admire. The list is long. of those whose guidance I could seek. This is my chance to be bold, not meek. Within each one of us lies a talent so unique. It just needs to be exposed, given a little tweak. Yet ever so often, I have been quick to judge, harboring stereotypes that refuse to budge. Letting the shallow and external cloud my mind. Like many others, I've sometimes been unkind. And ignored those who didn't seem to fit, falling short of expectations, I must admit. But today, I desire to show off my best. I realize that this could be every person's quest. As I grab this opportunity with both my hands, I shall look for the one who truly understands. That it's time and circumstances that do decide what comes forth, what stays hidden inside. And as my mind and spirit desire to unite, I think I might have understood every introvert's plight. Thank you.
Mansi, you are singing, so I'm going to sing 2 lines for you. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off you. After that, I don't know the next line. But
Pardon the way that I stare, there's nothing else to compare. The thought of you makes me weak. Actually, I could be singing the song too. Poonam, this poem was for me. Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful evening for me. Thank you.
And you know what? I have to tell you that honestly, when I was talking to Poonam, she selected the poems according to the person who's going to be reading it. This poem, it's been chosen specifically for you, all right? There you go. As we continue the journey, I would like to invite the man who Shekhar Kapoor has famously described as India's first literary pop star, and whose books have been translated into 16 Indian and international languages, Amish Tripathi. Amish will read out the poem A Dash from the section Ache and Acceptance. Through this poem, Poonam seeks to define a role in her journey of life. Having read Amish's wonderful best-selling books, the Shiva Trilogy and the Sign of Ikshvaku, where he has reinvented the lives of mythological heroes, she believes that Amish will truly understand her journey of life. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for Amish Tripathi.
I've known Sabas for, I think, 15, 16 years now, from my banking days. And I always thought of him as a brilliant businessman, an aggressive marketer. But I never accused him of being a well-read intellectual. So when he called me and told me, that, my wife has written a book, a series of poems, can you read them? My first reaction was, but then I read the book. And I was fascinated by the poems that Poonam wrote. We are human beings. We are essentially driven by emotions. But a very, very tiny group amongst us human beings can actually understand the emotions that we experience and we live. And in that very tiny group, there's an even more tiny group which can actually translate those emotions into simple words and pithy lines and communicate those emotions in a few short seconds to someone they don't even know. I may have agreed to read this book, Poonam, I may have agreed to read this book because of Sabas, but I'm here on stage reading this poem because of you. I'm fascinated by your poems. Okay, so this is a dash, and I'm not going to make a dash through it. I'm going to try my best to read it well. A dash. As I sit down and contemplate the complexities of life, the stereotypes, the paradoxes, the struggles, the strife, the joys and happiness with tears galore, what do I really want? Why do I crave for more? I am but a dash in the journey of life, a gap to be filled between birth and afterlife. So must I make many memories vivid and bright, or just let my imagination run and my dreams take flight? There is no perfect life, but some moments do define things that make me happy, with which I must align. Can I then embrace pleasure without any guilt, believing in the convictions that for myself I have built? What makes me want more when I can make do with less? What fuels this greed? Listen to this line. What fuels this greed within me is anybody's guess. Why can't I just bask in the familiarity of my ways? Why do I keep yearning for more adventurous days? My head often plays games with me, overriding what only the heart can say. And as the heart sees, so does it feel, while the head thinks it's no big deal. The inertia of being versus the busyness of doing. The everlasting conflict of really not knowing. Am I but here for me and me alone, or for deeds done for which I must atone? Who am I? I often don't know. My persona has changed so much. I think in the journey of life, I've lost my spontaneous touch. Should I then conform to exist in this finite space, or just break free from all shackles and recreate my own place? Time is but the passing of breaths, of movements, fast and slow. So why should I give it a value? Why not just let it flow? And as I continue to fill the gap with a dash, big and strong, blessed am I to have a life and a world to belong. Wonderful. Thank you.
Amish, I have to disagree with you about one thing. You just said a line which I heard saying you didn't know of Sabas being very intellectual. He's very intellectual when it comes to negotiating payments with me. Please, have you been to the side?
You're getting paid for this?
No, this is my love for Poonam, man. But in general, okay? Nice. All right? And you're not getting drinks after that statement which you said about Sabas. All right. Next up, we have the lovely Maria Goretti Varsi. Yeah, come on, you can do the who. I like that. Author of the recently launched delectable cookbook From My Kitchen to Yours. Friends for many years now, the warmth of Maria's personality and the memories created over the years of friendship and Maria's finger-licking good food makes Maria the ideal choice to read about how much, I repeat, Poonam's old nightie means to her and why. The stage is all yours, Maria, and I'm now going to know why your nightie means so much to you as well, Poonam. All right? Hello.
Hello. I just want to say that I'm really happy to be reading this, Poonam. And yes, you chose the right one because I am completely with you with stuff like this. I have a few with holes in them and I love them. So here it goes. The old nightie. I can't throw away my old nightie. It's my most comfortable dress. It envelopes me in its warmth, just like a soft caress. I think it was colored pink when it started out its day. But time and use have drained its vibrant colors away. The tiny lace edging its hem, no longer does it exist. But its comfort and soft feel continue to persist. My family doesn't understand why throw it away I can't, even though wearing it makes me look like a frumpy aunt. No. I darned a hole, scrubbed out a stain to give it a respectable look. But like old burlap, it continues to be despite the trouble I took. I have so many more nighties, each prettier than the next. But I just can't convince myself to put this one to rest. The husband scowls, the children smirk, each time they see it worn. I think they're conspiring with the help to ensure that it's swiftly torn. Right. But how can I let go of something that swaddles memories in its weft? I really want to cling on to it. don't want to be left bereft. Aha! I think I finally know how to make peace with my second skin. I'll cut it up into a rag and continue the battle to win. So though wear it, I can't. In its new avatar, I can still hold it dear, using it often to wipe the dust and clean all that is near. Thank you. Thank you, Poonam.
You know, after you read that out and how Poonam wrote it, I'm getting very emotional, Maria.
You want my nightie?
No, I don't want your nightie, but I want to apologize to my wife. I will never make fun of your nighties ever in my life. I'm sorry, Neha, I'm sorry, really.
The only way you can apologize to your wife is if you wash them and wear them.
You want me to wear them? Maria, naughty thoughts. All right, but I think I look pretty in that. I have a feeling. All right. Joining us next is Bollywood's current heartthrob, Kriti Sanon. Give it up for her, ladies and gentlemen. What a wonderful lady. Such a sweet smile. From the section Happiness and Hope, we present Bonding. Poonam felt that Kriti, a relative newcomer in the film industry, a beautiful rising star, would relate to the fear of walking into a large crowded event and worrying about people's reactions to her presence. Ladies and gentlemen, Kriti Sanon.
Hi everyone. Firstly, congratulations, Poonam ma'am. I actually used to write poems back in school and college, and I know how much thought actually goes in to writing each and every line and the happiness that you get after completing one full poem. So I'm sure the happiness that you must be getting now after completing all these poems and converting it into a book must be something else. And also very, very well selected. This poem, when I just read it, I felt I could relate to it completely, and I felt कि आपने मेरे मन में emotions actually बहुत अच्छे से लिख दिए हैं. So I'll just go on with it. Bonding. I walk into a room with slight hesitation, unsure of reactions, a bit of anticipation. Meeting acquaintances, not yet quite friends, wondering what message my presence sends. A greeting of warmth as my soul really tries to ensure that my smile spreads to my eyes. Are people around actually glad to see me? Or do I detect an undercurrent of hostility? Polite chit-chat becomes catch-up conversation, but I continue to feel a sense of trepidation. What makes us connect and forge a new bond? As only to certain people, we instinctively respond. What is that vibe that draws us close to people whom one otherwise hardly knows? Is this connection a karmic one, destined to deepen, though just begun? Or will our paths just occasionally cross, as we see only differences and no common ethos? My attention shifts to others in the room. Thinking similar thoughts goes on within, one never knows. This is my favorite. I push aside all doubtful thoughts, try to mingle with all the hot shots. But I continue to wonder, to them, how do I seem? Is my intrusion welcome? Do they hold me in high esteem? Some acknowledge me, some try to ignore. Should they befriend me? They're not too sure. But then within that group, I definitely see a pair of eyes looking intently at me. And as we start conversing, tentatively at first, exchanging pleasantries, though nothing rehearsed, I can definitely feel a strong connect. As from the rest of the group, we gently disconnect and find a quiet spot amidst the banter and noise, judging each other while maintaining our poise. And then somehow, there's an unspoken attraction, Like old friends, we have a similar reaction. And I stop in amazement as I excitedly think, I've made a new friend. There's definitely a link. And in that singular moment, I begin to relax, happy to be away from at least a few quacks. From within this group, I've surely found a friend, and the rest of the evening I can happily spend. Thank you.
Wow, you know what, Kriti? Even I related to that when there was these two words which says unspoken attraction. That's what going between you and me right now.
सिर्फ वही अब तक हुआ नहीं एक्चुअली.
We नहीं हुआ क्या? अच्छा सुनो ना. You spoke about writing poems as a child, right? Anything you can tell us right now, and we won't judge you for it, I promise.
Well, honestly, it's her big day, and I don't want to recite my own poems right now. So let this be about her and about her poems. I'll recite it to you separately.
Wonderful. One-on-one backstage. Lovely. Thank you, Kriti. Give it up for her. Up next, we have Padma Shri Prasoon Joshi. The global creative guru has commented about the soulful seeker on the back of the book. A delicate rhythmic journey laced with clarity and elegance. The warmth of Poonam's persona reflects beautifully in this collection. I'm sure it'll engross every reader who's a soulful seeker. Having been an ardent admirer of Prasoon's prolific and award-winning work, Poonam is so excited to have Prasoon read out Between a Rock and a Very Hard Place, once again questioning where each one of us stands in the journey of life and how best we can play our part. Please welcome, with a thunderous round of applause, writer, screenwriter, advertising legend, national award winner, and poet himself, Mr. Prasoon Joshi.
First of all, Sabas, thank you for inviting me here. And I think poetry is murmur art, and especially someone who does razzmatazz, who does IFA, who does all the shows which has the sound of ढोल. आपने बांसुरी को बजाया यहाँ पे थोड़ी देर के लिए. So the murmur sound which have been protected and given platform, I think poetry needs a little bit of nudge and support, because it doesn't happen without it. The way the world is going, I think we are addicted to loud noises, louder voices, and poetry is somewhere, as Poonam would sit somewhere in IFA awards and I'll have to look for her, she would not shout out aloud. That's how the nature of the art and craft she's practicing. So thank you, Sabas, for organizing this and calling us here. It really means a lot to all the poetry lovers. To Poonam's work, I always believed in two contradictory kind of thoughts, and I see those reflecting here. One, I believe that, well, we don't get thoughts, just thought get us. We are just the medium, and somehow, you got to be the best medium. In fact, I did a song which called Zariya, Tu Zariya, Main Zariya, aur Uski Kripa Dariya Dariya. So we just passing the thoughts. But if we are just passing the thought, it looks like fatalistic. It looks like everything is dependent on nature to give you thoughts. I think there's something called examine truth. I see that the vantage point which Poonam takes in her work, a lot of the work which has been just read before me, I really like the 90, for example, such a mundane, everyday thought being, presented and introspectively presented in front of you. I really find that inspiring, that you have looked at things which probably are very mundane but very nuanced. How nuanced a 90 could be, I don't think we thought before today. So thank you for looking at life like that and presenting it to us. And I would read a poem I would have read many, but this is Misfits. One thing which again and again coming out in her poetry is that she's brutally honest about what she feels, self-deprecating at times. And that's what I think a poet has to be, absolutely honest. And there is no pretentious note here in any of her work. And that's the essential, I think, for a poet. The misfit goes like this: I am an imperfect in a perfect world. Does that then make me perfect in an imperfect world? If I don't conform to what is the norm, then to which norm do I conform? If I don't tread the trodden path, will I lose my way in the aftermath? If two wrongs don't make a right, then the opposite of wrong must only be half right. If there are shades of black and shades of white, doesn't that put shades of grey in a different light? If I must live in the present and forget the past, then why does history continue to last? If there is no right time or place, then how do I know if I'm not on time or in the right place? If nothing lasts forever, then there is no point in asking the meaning of the word everlasting. If the ocean's depth is never seen, then what does as deep as the ocean really mean? If something is deemed to be just perfect, then why do I like my perfect imperfect? Thank you.
Thank you, Prasoon sir. I guess we all feel like misfits at some point of time. We have Parineeti Chopra who will read the poem Soaring. Another gem from the section Happiness and Hope. Poonam felt that Parineeti's journey from Ambala to the UK, the corporate world, and then to films is a testimony to her enthusiasm, her warmth, and outgoing nature, and very rooted family upbringing, for which she's very, very proud of. Her effervescent nature continues to create gentle waves in the hearts of her numerous fans. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Parineeti Chopra.
Hello, hello, hello. Oh, Mansi, thank you. I thought I was tall, but okay. You are too tall. Hi, Poonam Aunty. I haven't gotten to meet you. You're the star today, but I will come down and meet you. First of all, I want to say that Prasoon sir, you just said that you've seen Poonam Aunty at IFA, of course, and she would not make a lot of noise. But I completely disagree. Because for the past 3 years, I've been sitting right next to her. We've been, of course, using our contacts, she herself sneaking in food, and she's my CT partner actually. So we've been whistling at all the acts at IFA and having a rollicking time. But I never thought that Poonam Aunty could, write poetry, or writing a book is something that is just beyond me at least. I've never read a poem in my life. I don't understand them at all, I have to be honest. So when I came here in the evening, I said, oh, today is a very intellectual evening, and I will have to tell everybody, it was such a wonderful poem and I understood every word, but I'm not quite understanding most of them. But I have to say that the one that I have, the one that she's chosen for me, I read many, many times to make sure that I understood it. And I think it's just so beautiful that she writes just so... I think pure of heart. I think she's very simple in her thoughts, and I think that shows in her poems. So I'm going to try and not ruin it. So here goes. It's called Soaring. If I let my mind rise and my thoughts soar, will they take me to the moon and back? Will I float above the soft white clouds? Will I encounter an alien attack? Maybe I'll sit on a butterfly's wing and flit from flower to flower, light and bright, a perfect delight, to be loved and admired from afar. I understood everything abhi tak. Or should I perch on a strong tree branch and sway to the song of the wind as chirping birds flap gently by, some wild, some disciplined? As an adult, if I have childlike thoughts, will people around me laugh? Will they think that I'm on the brink and tell me I've gone far enough? Oh, carefree days that did amaze, I so desperately want you back. I want to be strong with my troubles gone, not always bemoaning what I lack. Struggles and troubles, anxiety and angst are constant companions as we grow. So cherish your dreams, let out those screams, for where they'll take you, you will never know. Not bad, huh? Thank you, Poonam Aunty, first of all, for inviting all of us. I am so happy and pleasantly surprised that you can write so well. I'm so... Oh, did I say that wrong? See, this is why I don't write, you know. We are given dialogues, we say them. I meant to say, you know, she was my cute Punjabi auntie. I never thought she was this writer, but I'm so happy. I'm intimidated also, but I'm so proud of you. I love you, and I hope this is the first of many books ahead. So have a good evening, everyone, and congratulations, Poonam Aunty.
Acha, listen, there's a big problem. Come here. You've created a lot of tension for Sabas. You called Poonam auntie. So that means Sabas is uncle. Sabas is being used called like the lover boy. You know, Sabas, my dude. So are you going to call Sabas uncle as well after this, or you've been calling him uncle?
Sir.
No, but I wanted to call him uncle once. Say, no, Sabas uncle. Come on, how can wife be auntie and he can't be uncle? Right, Viraf? Absolutely, okay, just say once, try, once, please. Sabas uncle. Why? This is not being fair, man. What about equality and all?
No, he's sir. You know, remember the payments thing?
With you also.
Yeah. So, sir, it's an honor to be here. And Poonam Aunty, I love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, from now on, everyone in this place calls Sabas uncle. That's the oath we all take. All right, listen, you used to do a IFA CT with Poonam Aunty. Okay, give us a jhalki of that now. Little sample, please.
Where is she?
No, I have to do a dramatic introduction for her. Yeah, come on, ek CT tum. Okay, come. Okay, हाँ.
Acha, I have to say that she was the CT and I was the face. So she would do some rubbish like that, like with both her fingers, and I would just do this for the cameras and they would get a good reaction.
Oh, like that. So it was like a fraudgiri happening. You're such a fraud, yeah, Parineeti.
Just once or twice, then, you know, have to do it. Nah, sir, I'm a good audience member also. He's happy.
He's very happy. But thank you so much, Parineeti. And Sabas uncle, we all love you. Thank you. All right. It's now time to listen to a very special poem. One with a very deep meaning and a universal message that I'm sure each one of us can connect with. To introduce this poem, I would like to call the lady herself, Poonam Chadda Joseph.
I'd warned Parineeti. I said, listen, you call me auntie across airports, you call me auntie in every IFA you meet me across the world and so on and so forth. But today at least, can I just be Poonam the poetess? But see, it didn't happen. I'm back to being good old Poonam auntie. Okay, on a more serious note, there's a very special poem that I've called Let's Rise. And this I wrote when the terrorist attacks took place in Mumbai on 26/11 in the year 2008. Coincidentally, Sabas and I were both here attending an Ernst & Young Entrepreneurs of the Year function. No sooner had the function gotten over, we went back home because Sabas, as usual, had to work through the night on various other events, and I was just tired and heading home. We left the hotel, and I think before we had even crossed Carter Road, we started getting phone calls telling us that there was something really horrific happening in the entire city. A carnage that was taking place, and the city was already in the throes of panic. Sabas still insisted on being dropped off at the office. I went home with the television set on, and I sat there numbed, just like the rest of the world. For the next 72 hours, we watched while the terrorists really tore our entire city and what we stood for into absolute smithereens. I was so shocked by and disturbed by what we all watched, what the rest of the world saw. And I just put pen to paper and wrote a poem called Let's Rise. This poem I'd actually like to dedicate to all the men, women, children, their bravery, the ones who lost their lives, and the ones who were caught in the midst of the attack. And also, this is a tribute to their families who probably relive this moment each time the terrorists raise their heads again. Although it was written so many years ago, I believe it is as relevant today, keeping in mind the attacks that took place in Paris in November of last year, and closer to home, the attacks in Pathankot just last week. There are 3 incredibly talented artists and my dear friends who have put together a very special rendition of Let's Rise. May I welcome Kabir Bedi, Merlin D'Souza, and Vivian Fernandez. Please give them a big round of applause. I do hope you enjoy Let's Rise.
Thank you, Poonam, for that lovely introduction. Congratulations on the release of this book. As Prasoon said, it's very important that poetry is given a place in our lives. And when it gets a launch like this, it adds to the value of poetry, adds to the value of our lives. I'm very fortunate to be accompanied by such wonderful people today. And we will do our best to give a rendition of Poonam's poem, Let's Rise.
Mm.
26/11 was an event that traumatized us all. And as we sit here on these beautiful lawns, in the breeze of the Arabian Sea, it's fitting that we remember this, and we thank Poonam for putting it into such beautiful words and for us to be able to share it with you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kabir Bedi, Merlin and Vivian, what a rendition, so sublime. Louder, please. I got goosebumps, literally.
Thank you so very much. And
Sabas, all I want to say is you no longer have an hidden asset. It's out in the open.
Would you like to say something as well, ma'am?
I think I've sung enough.
Thank you so much. And Kabir sir, after hearing you talk, I don't feel like talking. What a baritone! The voice, ladies and gentlemen, and the persona.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here. Congratulations, Poonam. And you've been a fantastic host.
Thank you so much, sir. I want your baritone, sir. Can I just take it right away?
You got it.
Thank you, Kabir sir. Means a lot. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. All right. I'd like to call on stage Poonam Chadda Joseph back, please.
Okay, I didn't have a question actually, Poonam, but I got so nervous because I'm really not good with a live audience. I much prefer talking to my phone. And I completely forgot to say that I'm really, really happy that you made me part of this. And you know, all of us go back such a long way. And sometimes through our journeys in life, we always make new friends and we reach new steps and new heights in life. But what's wonderful about, in fact, Sabas, you, Andre and Viraf and where are they, I can't see them, is the fact that you guys are just, you know, as you were, you're so warm and so wonderful. And I just want to say thank you for always being simple friends.
Thank you, Maria. I can say exactly the same goes for you.
How sweet. All right.
Thank you for being a part of this evening. And Arshad and you too continue to be the wonderful warm souls that you always have been. Thank you.
All right. So Manasi has a question, okay?
You've really sing and ask it, I'll sing for you later. Very succinctly you found these titles for each one of us. I've noticed for everybody, Parineeti, everybody. I want to know what you've entitled those poems for these 3 boys, Sabas and Viraf and Andre.
I'll tell you backstage.
Oh, that's not the point of a question answer.
anything related to these men? Why is it post midnight, backstage, and stuff like that? Huh? You naughty boys. Any more questions? I'm coming behind. All right. Atul Shuramani, ladies and gentlemen. He is the man who's a dawn in the music industry. Give it up. He's founded the music industry the way it is. All right.
Listen, there is nothing to say. Sid is having his day now. But Poonam, I think you just personified that the best things come in small packages.
Thank you, Atul. You're a true friend.
It's been a discovery. The writing, as you know, I'm a big fan of the poetry, and the sketching was Sone Pe Suhaga. So all the best, and we hope there'll be a sequel. So Sabah, stop coming home early.
All right. Any comment? Any statements? Anu sir, I know you're itching to say something, sir. So you've done different kinds of poetry, sir. So how different is this poetry from your poetry, sir?
यहाँ पे आए बहुत स्पीकर, लेकिन पसंद आई पूनम की द सोलफुल सीकर. ऐसे कहते हैं अन्नू मलिक. As far as asking you a question, I must say, Poonam, that I'm totally impressed like everybody else. But I must say that if Sabas is a rock to you, Sabas, Andhra and Vira are gold to me.
Oh, wonderful.
They have been with me. We have done major shows, and entertainment ke liye kuch bhi karega is one of them. I just want to ask you one question as a creative person myself. When I was hearing these beautiful poems, sometimes did you ever feel, did you feel a lack of motivation somewhere? You felt you could not go on, and when you had this daunting task of completing the book, did you ever feel sometimes ke shayad mujhse nahi hoga? What am I? And how did you get motivated?
Well, actually, this book of poems is a collection which was written over a period of time. I never started out with the idea of writing a book. These were just thoughts inspired by moments, instances, a word, a feeling, a color, high-heeled shoes, whatever. I mean, all kinds of things just triggered off various thoughts. And I just put them out and put them down and shared them with a few friends. And it's only after I had a fairly large collection that friends started saying that, I think it's high time you put it all into a collection and, converted it into a book. So it really wasn't a process where I had to actually think about each poem that I wrote. They just came naturally over a period of time. And I'm just so happy that Ajay Mago was willing to take this chance with me. And thank you so much to Ajay Om Books, his lovely wife Naina. And I really hope that some of you, I hope most of you will buy the book and also share it with other friends.
And we'll cherish the book. Fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Anu sir, I have a question to you, sir. Are you coming out with a book of poems as well?
You should ask the channels who work with me. हो सकता है वहाँ से आएगी. सोनी से अभी आ सकता है, कहीं और से भी आ सकता है. मुझको ला रहे हैं कोई.
Hello, Mr. Rajnaik. How are you, sir? Okay, on public demand, Mr. Annu Malik wants me to go to you and give the mic, and he says, you will ask a great question, sir, or a statement.
Poonam, this is for you.
Yes, Raj. Thank you.
Raj Nayak has done this first time, actually the second time. First time he did this to his neighbor's wife. Oh, you want to ask Shreya, sir, and Soluma, enna kagara?
Do you remember your first poem? And how old were you? Because every artist remember their first performance.
I think I did write when I was in school. I must have been 8 or 10 years old. And I didn't even remember those poems till one day I came across this old diary of mine. And I found that I had written rhyming verse even then. So maybe it's just a journey that really, really goes back a long way.
That's beautiful.
All right, any more questions? Oh, Maria, question, statement, what? Okay, what? So there are two women raising their hands. So why don't you ask half the question and she can ask the rest of the question? She'll ask? Okay, Merlin, it's all yours.
So actually, Merlin, Vivian, Manasi and me, we just want to know since, how do we say this? Okay, I'll just say it. So can we get some paintings also?
Next round. Next round. We'll have another event and we'll have the paintings up
I'm so
there.
sorry, girls. I tried.
No, but you want the paintings, are you willing to pay for it or you're a freeloader?
See, I tell you, I cherish what I get free and I give away what I buy. So,
That's profound. I think I
I have
another
seen a
poem
very
coming up.
business-like side to you, Maria Goretti. All right, any more questions here? Ma'am, give it up for Malavika Sangvi, please, ma'am. Give it up. Wow, what a woman.
Hi, Poonam.
Hi, Malvika.
That was so beautiful. I have to tell the audience that I've known Poonam since she was, what, 6, 7?
Something
the families
like that.
go back very, very long ago. And in those days, there were poetry readings. We used to do, I don't know if you remember poetry readings at Nishi's home, at our home. And I'm so happy to see and so proud that you've kept on the tradition. Poetry needs to be celebrated, heard, discussed. And what better way than this? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Malvika.
Oh,
That
so
really
ma'am.
means a lot coming from you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Give it for Malavika, ma'am, please. All right, there's another living legend here, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Yogesh Lakhani from Bright Advertising. Give it up for him. Yogesh, how many hoardings are you giving Poonam for this? Because this is going to be a bestseller. Let's crack this. How many hoardings right now, sir? Because later on, you won't get space because she's going to be taken by every hoarding company in the country. Yogesh ji, boliye. Don't laugh. Kitne? 50? 100?
बैकस्टेज पे बताता हूँ
It's a backstage conversation, yeah. The family show, sir. Sir, 50 to de dijiye, sir.
बात करके बोल
Sir, 25. All right, any more questions here, please? Hello. Sir, ma'am, are you settling your hair or you wanted to ask a question? Doesn't matter, you can ask a question.
I don't have a question for.
You love the poems?
No, it's been pleasant being here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for all the people who asked a question as well. Poonam, before I call people on stage to launch the book officially, you have a poem up your sleeve for us as well. Can you please?
Sorry, folks, this is usually the most boring part of the evening, but there are so many people who've really helped me on this journey, and I do have to say a big thank you. There is a poem, of course, a thank you poem, first for everyone, and then I'll specifically mention the ones who have really helped me on this journey. Dear family, friends, near and dear ones, just a few words to express how I feel. I'm overwhelmed by your presence, dear friends of mine. This evening for me is so precious, so divine. Your encouragement has helped me write this book. Do hope you will all give it at least a second look. And possibly I've done some good before and now to be blessed with friends, each amazing somehow. Beautiful and talented, you each have a place as you enrich my life with your presence and grace. Through times of struggle, so many of you have been there. Without all of you, I'd just be lost somewhere. My rhymes may sound simple when they are first read, but they are filled with a passion that I'm happy to spread. Age and experience have only strengthened our bond, friendships that I hope will last forever and beyond. It takes time and effort to help a friend succeed, encouraging selflessly, especially in times of need. I wish I knew how to thank each one, keep you close to me even after this day is done. So as I keep my expectations high and strive for the best, overcome disappointments and bravely face each test, it's you I know I can depend on as I grow, your support and encouragement today and evermore. And with these few words, I'd just like to say a big thank you in every way for all the effort that you, my family and friends have put into ensuring the success of my very first book. Thank you. And of course, a few thank yous to a lot of very, very, very special people. My parents, Doctors Mohindra and Rajni Chadha, my mother-in-law, Mrs. Dorothy Joseph, Sabas Joseph, my husband, my rock, my biggest supporter, while I'm his biggest critic, and Gitika, Viraf, Sona, my extended family, my dearest, dearest, and most infuriating children, Rohan and Ria. The list will go on and on. I have to thank Shabana Azmi ji. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here this evening owing to the release of her new film, Chalk and Dust. Of course, dear Ajay, Naina, my wonderful publishers, Deepa Chaudhary, who helped in editing the book, the Taj Lands End Hotel for this beautiful location and lovely evening, special guests who have come here, Poonam Sinha, Reena Chopra, and of course, all the ones who narrated my beautiful poems. Sorry, not my beautiful poems, but who beautifully narrated my poems. Tanvi, Prasoon, Amish, Parineeti, Maria, Manasi, Kriti, Aditi, a really big heartfelt thank you to you all. And of course, Kabir, Merlin, and Vivian. What can I say about you? That was just incredible, amazing. And my dearest, dearest Sid, the evening wouldn't have been as special without you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, yeah. You mean the world to us, Poonam, for the person that you are and the warmth that you exude. I must tell you, you are truly, truly the most affectionate lady I have met in my life. And I promise you that. Give it up for her, ladies and gentlemen, really. Okay, so I'm going to call, you got to be on stage, come on. So I'm going to call Parineeti Chopra on stage. घर की बात है, अंकल आंटी सब यहाँ पे हैं, आ जाइए. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make this a little dramatic. When I say lights, camera, action, you unveil this. You come in front, Kriti. You don't hide behind, and you're tall, so. And also, I'd like to call a lady who's so graceful, Mrs. Poonam Sinha, on board as well, ma'am. Please come up on stage. Parineeti, behave yourself. You're very naughty here. Okay, ma'am, please. Alright, so here goes. Lights. Camera. Action. Okay, so thank you so much. Now I'd like to call a few more dignitaries, but this has been the official launch of the Soulful Seeker. Thank you so much, Ajay, Poonam ma'am, and of course Kriti. But I'd like you to have a photo opportunity with the book in your hand as well. And you get an autographed copy as well. There is a counter with the books as well, ladies and gentlemen. If you buy it, you get an autographed copy from Poonam. So here you go. We can have some music at the backdrop also. The official unveiling of the Soulful Seeker. I can see the bond between both of you, and I could see this constant smile on your face while the proceedings were on. Would you like to say something?
I just messaged Sabas and told him that I'm coming specially for my namesake, and it's only for her that I'm here. My husband had his book launch just 4 days back, with Ajay releasing his book called Anything But Khamosh. So yes, and Bharti is also here. She's the writer of the book. And we had a very nice launch. And this is beautiful too. I'm going to read it tonight. Thank you. Yes.
Ma'am, anything about your bond with Poonam? Poonam talks about Poonam.
I think the two Poonams have connected instantly for quite a while now. She's the warmest, most lovely, loving person I've met in a long, long, long time.
That's why I love Poonam so much. Photo opportunity. Aye.